Picture this. You're in the middle of a conversation, and someone asks you the capital of a country or the year a famous film was released. Your mind goes blank. But instead of struggling, your hand instinctively reaches for your phone. Within seconds, the answer is at your fingertips. Sound familiar? This isn't just about convenience anymore. It's about the profound ways technology is rewriting the very rules of human memory. For most of human history, memory was everything. Before books, before writing, before the internet, information lived or died depending on whether someone could recall it. Ancient poets recited epics from memory. Elders preserved oral traditions across generations. And survival itself depended on remembering hunting grounds, plant properties, and migration patterns. Memory wasn't just personal, it was cultural. Now, in the 21st century, we live in a completely different reality. Vast amounts of information are stored not in our minds, but in servers, search engines, and cloud platforms. And this shift has sparked a crucial question. Is technology redefining human memory? Scientists call it digital amnesia. It's the phenomenon of forgetting information that we know our devices will remember for us. Think about phone numbers. A few decades ago, most people could recite the numbers of family, friends, and even local businesses by heart. Today, many of us can't recall even our closest friend's number without checking our contacts list. The brain adapts by outsourcing. If it knows the information is safely stored externally, it doesn't prioritize internal recall. In one sense, this is efficient. We don't waste precious mental energy memorizing what a device can hold for us. But it also means we're reshaping the way memory functions, leaning on external tools to do what was once a uniquely human task. But here's where it gets interesting. Outsourcing doesn't just weaken memory, it can also enhance it. Take note-taking apps, reminders, or digital knowledge organizers. These tools extend memory, acting as external storage units that free our minds to focus on higher-order thinking. Instead of remembering every appointment or grocery item, we can channel our cognitive energy into creativity, problem-solving, or innovation. This echoes the invention of writing itself. Ancient critics once feared that writing would destroy memory because people would no longer need to recall everything orally. And in a sense, it did, but it also expanded memory by allowing humans to store, transmit, and build upon knowledge in ways that oral culture never could. The same paradox exists today with technology. Memory may be changing, but it is also evolving. Consider personalized learning platforms and AI-driven memory aids. These systems adapt to individual needs, reinforcing knowledge through spaced repetition and testing. They don't just act as crutches, they actually strengthen long-term memory by leveraging the brain's natural learning rhythms. In classrooms, AI tutors can adjust in real time, giving students targeted reminders of what they're about to forget, effectively making memory training more efficient than ever before. In this case, technology isn't replacing memory, it's training it. Still, there's a danger in convenience. Immediate access to information changes how we value recall. Why bother remembering a fact when a search engine can provide it instantly? Psychologists have found that people are less likely to remember information itself and more likely to remember where to find it. This phenomenon, known as the Google effect, suggests that our brains are adapting to treat search engines as extensions of memory. Instead of internal recall, we've developed metamemory, the memory of location rather than content. On the one hand, this makes sense in an information-saturated world. On the other, it risks eroding the richness of internal knowledge, leaving us dependent on external sources to fill in the blanks. Navigation provides another striking example. Before GPS, people developed robust spatial memory, landmarks, routes, mental maps of entire cities. Today, many of us rely on GPS even in our own neighborhoods. Studies show that constant dependence on GPS can weaken the hippocampus, the part of the brain associated with spatial memory and navigation. London taxi drivers, who famously train for the knowledge by memorizing the city's streets, show enlarged hippocampal regions compared to average drivers. Yet as GPS use spreads, fewer people exercise this mental muscle. The trade-off is clear: efficiency and accuracy in the moment, but a long-term decline in internal mapping ability at the same time. Technology provides new forms of recall that far surpass human memory. Facial recognition software can identify people across decades and continents. Digital archives preserve historical documents with precision no human could replicate. Social media timelines act as living memory banks, capturing photos, conversations, and milestones that might otherwise fade. In this way, technology extends memory beyond the capacity of any one brain, creating collective memory systems accessible to billions. The question becomes not just whether we're losing memory, but whether we're transforming it into something larger than ourselves. But dependence has consequences. Imagine trying to recall life events without scrolling through old photos, or navigating a city without GPS after years of relying on it. The ease of external memory makes it harder to practice internal recall. Cognitive scientists warn that the use it or lose it principle applies here. Just like muscles atrophy when unused, memory skills decline without exercise. If we stop practicing recall, the neural pathways weaken. Over time, this could shift not just individual memory, but cultural habits of thought. Yet it's not all decline. There's evidence that digital tools can free up working memory, reducing cognitive load and allowing for deeper thinking. Instead of cluttering our minds with trivia, we can store information externally and focus on analysis, synthesis, and creativity. In other words, the brain may be evolving to collaborate with technology, becoming less about storage and more about navigation, interpretation, and problem solving. Memory is not vanishing. It's adapting to a new environment. Where does this leave us? On the one hand, technology is clearly reshaping memory. We forget phone numbers, rely on GPS, and use Google as an external brain. On the other hand, these tools enhance recall, expand learning opportunities, and preserve knowledge far beyond human limitations. The key lies in balance. Just as physical exercise keeps the body strong in an age of convenience, mental exercise is needed to keep memory sharp in an age of outsourcing. Practicing recall, engaging in memory games, or even consciously memorizing small things, like a poem, a phone number, or a route, keeps neural pathways active. Perhaps the future of memory is not about choosing between human and digital, but about integration. Imagine a world where your brain works seamlessly with AI, where memory aids are not crutches but extensions, augmenting human thought without replacing it. In many ways, we are already there. Every reminder ping, every autofill suggestion, every cloud-stored note is a step toward hybrid memory. The danger is not in using these tools, but in forgetting that our own memory still needs nurturing. Technology has always redefined human capabilities, from writing to printing to the internet. Each shift brought gains and losses. Today's challenge is to recognize that memory is not a fixed faculty, but a flexible, evolving system. Whether it becomes weaker or stronger in the digital age depends less on technology itself and more on how we use it. The next time your mind draws a blank and your hand reaches for your phone, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this just convenience? Or am I letting my external brain take over what my internal one could still handle? Because the truth is, memory in the digital age is not disappearing, it's being rewritten. And whether this evolution makes us more forgetful or more powerful depends on the choices we make every single day.
If you find this video informative, please hit the like button, subscribe this channel and feel free to share your comments.